Argento's Trauma.
Some other soul is here with us tonight. The recent dead.
It will draw you in. Hold you down.
Don't be afraid.
And pull you apart.
Whose face? You saw him.
Because someone is watching.
And your friend may be in real danger.
Someone is waiting.
Were they lovers?
Lovers.
Someone who knows the past cannot be forgotten.
They were decapitating.
The severed heads of all 7 headhunter victims were found in the trunk of his car.
And never forgiven.
She's not here. They just came and took her away.
Aura, you're all alone now.
Christopher Rydell, Asia Argento, Frederick Forrest, James Russo, and Piper Laurie. In Dario Argento's maddening thriller, Trauma.
A new film by the master of the psychological thriller, Dario Argento.
And I entered a painting. It was as if I was suddenly immersed in it. I know it sounds crazy.
What happened to you in the Uffizi is known as the Stendhal syndrome.
Your gun, Assistant Inspector Manny. The Stendhal syndrome. The Stendhal syndrome. A spine-chilling excursion into a world of unrestrained terror. The Stendhal Syndrome. Written and directed by Dario Argento.
Murders like these are not accidental. They're premeditated. He likes to hurt. He likes to hurt human beings. His is not an illness you can cure.
He's gonna kill me!
Where are you? I'll find you.
No fingerprints and nothing to do with DNA on. How are you going to catch him?
And with that, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is Black Love Reviews, and this is Slasher Stream, episode 14. And this is a good one. We have Jay Real joining us, and of course, my slasher bro, Darren from Subjective Perspective Collective. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Doing good.
Pretty good. Yeah, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, we have some rockin' good Argento films that we suggest you all have to see if you have not seen them yet. And these are his later 90s ones, you know, and we're talking about some good ones here today. So we're talking about Trauma from 1993. We have the Stendhal Syndrome, which is, to me, Asia's best performance from 1996. And then we have a really good one from 2001 with the late great Max von Sydow, and that is, of course, Sleepless from 2001. So yeah, we got some good bangers here, definitely. So Darren, first off, what's your thoughts on these Dario Argento films? Because I know he's huge on your list director-wise, as he is mine and stuff like that. But just talk a little bit about Dario Argento and his films, if you could.
Right, yeah. So Dario Argento's without a doubt, my favorite director of all time. He started off pretty much. He was a writer at one point. He used to write screenplays. He wrote Once Upon a Time in America, I think it is.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
In the West, sorry,
Sergio
the
Leone.
Western. Yeah. He was working for a newspaper for the longest time, and what he would do is he was writing reviews up for films. And then just by chance, he wrote the film The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. And he wasn't set to direct or nothing like that. He was trying to look for different directors. And I know his father was a big, money man behind him and all this. But in the end, he just said, well, what the hell, I'll give it a go. I'll try to direct it myself. And then he realized he's got this just amazing flair for visuals and all that, and the rest is history. He did the Animal trilogy back in the early, I think 1970, 69, 70, right up until present day, where I think he's working on something, because the last documentary he was in, he was sat in a hotel room. So I guess he's working on something. But we had Black Glasses back, I think 3 or 4 years ago now as well.
Yeah, that was his return to form, in my opinion. I know he recently had a health scare last year, but he is doing better. So, and him and Martino, I think, they're kind of still around. The rest are unfortunately gone. But and these are some great films later on in his career, specifically in the 90s. Trauma being, I think that's the only Argento that Savini was a part of, with the practical effects and stuff like that too. And then you have my boy Brad Dourif in that one too, as only he can play in his part. Let's go to Mr. Jay Real. First off, Jay, thank you very much for joining us. Tell the people in the chat that are here a little bit about yourself if they don't already know.
I don't know what to say. I've been around quite a while. I used to do things quite frequently with the Dead Pit guys on deadpit.com. I would do. I had an independent movie I directed 2003, I believe it was, called Dawn, about a human father with a vampire daughter, and kind of a road movie. And it got picked up by Tempe Video back in the day, so it had a DVD release, and it went to Netflix when Netflix would rent out movies, and it was reviewed in Fangoria positively, and it got a little bit of attention. And I've been doing that over the years. I've been making short films. I've got a few that are on YouTube. If you want to look it up, see my short films. And Dawn's on there if you want to see Dawn. And I've got my own channel that that you guys participated in last night, that talk about movies and directors, mainly horror stuff, but I do some other stuff too. And
very good. Yeah, you're kind of legendary on here, of course, with Dead Pit and all that too. And definitely, if it's vampires, I'm definitely in. I'm a huge vampire nut, definitely, when it comes to that. We got a couple people here in chat. First off, we have Kevin Splinter here. He's been a regular in here. I really appreciate him showing up. Yeah, Dario Argento, absolutely. All day, every day for like a lot of people for the most part. We have Jason, Ginger Ninja Movie Reviews. He's a Australian chap and stuff like that. He's doing great stuff. He reviews horror films and stuff like that as well. He has some good shorts wise that he does, his 1 minute reviews, I believe. So very cool to see him in here. And it's been a minute, I'm sure, but we're going to talk about those bangers. Black Glasses had high hopes. It wasn't bad, though. It wasn't up there with his grades. True. I didn't recognize Asia in that film, to tell you the truth. She got like a lot of tats, and she looked a little bit bigger wise, but that was okay. Then I had to look at her like a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, that's her. So
it's quite sad to see her in that, because she's let herself go a little bit, and it's understandable with all the kind of all the thing that happened with the Me Too, and then she got involved with the underage boy, so they say, and all so that. So, I guess she was in the wilderness for quite a long time, and then she come back out with black glasses, and I think she's in that documentary as well that I just mentioned.
She is, yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we see a lot more of Asia to come.
Him and his other daughter too, which has been in his other films as well. Like, you know, she's really young, of course, in Phenomena, of course, and then she's also plays a part in The Card Player as well.
She does, yeah, and she's plays a decent role in Demons as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's
and
right.
You can kind of tell she's Dario Argento's daughter, as well as Asia. They both look like him, you know.
Yeah, they do. So we'll get this started. Personally, like I say, these 3 films from him, like I say, that's why I put like in the handle, like we suggest you watching stuff if you have not. But we're going to start with one I was pleasantly surprised with. Of course, Vinegar Syndrome released the Blu-ray of that, and that, of course, is Trauma from 1993. So yeah, and that same edition. Darren, go ahead and lead us off about this film.
Man, I honestly believe I love all 3 of these films. I know they all have their flaws, and we'll come into that as we go. But Trauma. So what happened with Argento was he went over to America in 1990 and made 2 Evil Eyes with George Romero.
Yeah,
and it really flopped. And his part of that was the Black Cat. It was his kind of
with Harvey Keitel. Yeah, it's the effing cat.
Yeah, exactly. And for me as well, it didn't really work. So he literally left it a few years. 1993 comes, and he sets one in Minneapolis, which is where this is set, under the backdrop of like, it rains a lot. I don't know if it does rain a lot there in real life, but in this film,
Minnesota,
it rains from the start to the finish. And I love that kind of doomy atmosphere. You've got the music by Pino Donaggio. Ruby Rain, I think, is one of the most kind of emotional, lovely kind of scores you'll ever hear. And there's a love story in this film as well, and that song kind of ties into that. And like just the way they, that the song comes together with some of the scenes in this film is amazing.
Definitely.
In terms of going through some of the actors, you've got Asia Argento. She plays Aura Petrescu. She's like this Romanian girl, having her trouble. She's anorexic. She's running away from home a lot. She has, got her problems.
Yeah, because there's like a seance at the start of this film. And you got to remember Piper Laurie, the great Piper Laurie. I mean, she rests in peace. Yeah, from
she plays her mother, and she plays like the psycho mother really well.
Yeah, here we go again. Kind of
almost like
goes back to Carrie.
Yeah. So you've got her. You've got Brad Dourif, brilliant. Dr. Lloyd. I'd like to see him longer in it, but
Frederick Forrest too, a long timer in these films like this. So it's always good to see him in films like this.
Of course, yeah. The guy, I see a lot of reviews for this film, and Christopher Rydell, he plays David Parsons.
Yeah.
And he gets slagged on a lot, and I don't know why. I think his performance is great. I really
it's definitely 90s with the sweatshirt type shirt that he has.
Yeah. Makeup effects by Tom Savini, and I know he was really disappointed, Savini, because this film don't really show off any real big special effects type thing, and he was kind of disappointed with that.
Other than the head falling with Brad Dourif that you saw in the trailer there, which was quite interesting. Yeah,
that's the worst part of the film for me.
The special features on that Blu-ray, Savini talks about that. There's another scene of where it was supposed to land because he has the head and stuff like that. That's one thing cool about Savini. He shows, of course he does. He shows his collection off, and he shows the head of Brad Dourif and stuff, how it was supposed to land in that other scene, because there's an extended scene on that Blu-ray as a special feature. So
the actual dummy head he made does look, I think it looks pretty good. But when they do the effect using his actual head, and I think Jay might have seen it at the start when they show it in the trailer, and you can see his head coming down this lip.
He's like, ah! So it's a typical scream from him.
Yeah. So I know Jay's not seen this, so hopefully we can sell it to him, and
absolutely.
He can get interested.
Yeah, I'm definitely anxious to see it.
I think you'll enjoy it. I really do.
Oh yeah.
So you've got the film opens up. You've got this chiropractor. She's seeing a new patient. there's this like amazing rainstorm outside that only Argento can create, you know.
There's like an iguana or something like that. It's not an iguana. What is it? Or like a lizard?
It's like a lizard, I think. Yeah. It's got like a pet lizard. That comes into play a couple of times during this film.
Yeah.
But, you know, we see the Black Glove Killer. We see the POV. And this killer, which is kind of unique, he uses this kind of contraption to where he takes the heads off his victims. Yeah, I mean,
it's a good extended scene with the nurse or doctor, right? And it happens to take place at night, I guess, and you know, dark setting. You don't see what the person looks like. Great POV shots with that, and then it just comes to the lizard like eating something and what have you. You know, like the after effects of it, which I always liked about Argento. He always seems to have that thing with his films.
He does, you know. Early on as well, right? So we see David. And he's kind of working at this kind of newspaper, I guess, and he does sketches and all that.
But he does. He does sketches. Yeah.
He's
a cartoonist, kind of
cartoonist type thing. Yeah. So he's driving along now, and he sees Aura, as Argento's character, and she's literally jumping off a bridge. So he stops the car, gets out the car. She looks very young in this film as well. She's 16, but she looks about 13 or 14 until you see her topless, and then
until you see topless like out of the blue.
But and that's the start of, for me, that's the start of like this kind of love relationship between the two. Even though
also Laura Johnson's in here, sexy's all get out as his on again off again relationship. She's a reporter,
right,
a journalist. Grace.
Yeah. But we find out the backstory then with Aura is she's anorexic. She ain't like David just out of, you know, he's like, well, I don't want you to jump off the bridge. I
know, it's a trip. Yeah.
He tries to take her under his wing type thing, you know, and he takes her to get some food. But she ends up pinching his wallet, and then she goes on the run type thing. And you got the whole social services get involved, and they kind of take her back to this, you know, children's home or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, you get to see a family as well later on, a little bit later on as well. And like you say, the crazy Piper Laurie.
Yeah, he's always good with that.
Oh yeah, there's a seance scene you mentioned that reminds me a lot of the Changeling. And obviously the psychic scene from Deep Red early on.
City of the Living Dead. There's a psychic scene in that one too.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about that kind of seance scene at the house is when she's talking, you hear like the killer's voice as well in the background, and it all kind of makes sense right towards the end of what's happening. But,
I'll say Trauma real quick. It's probably Argento's most Fulci-like film. I mean, it's different from the other ones that he did even after this. In my opinion, it's a bit more gore wise in what it does and stuff like that too. And I think he was telling kind of Fulci, yeah, I can do this too, or try to do it.
I think it's almost like his attempt at a slasher film, but maybe 10 years too late.
Yeah, well, that's very true. Yeah, the 90s were interesting, specifically, like, say, 93. That's when Scream came out and those films like of that nature.
So, yeah, so you pretty much got this killer on the loose. Women are going missing. They brandish this killer, the headhunter, because he's decapitating his victims. But, yeah, you've got... It just gets completely wacky as it goes along, really, you know, with all the stuff that happens. You got the topless scene, which is crazy because she's supposed to be anorexic, but you know, Asia's got a nice rack on her.
Yeah, she got some nice tatas on it, definitely.
Oh yes. But they're trying to keep her inside, you know, for her own mental health and anorexia and all that.
Yeah, and all this stuff. Yeah, it gets a little bit nutty and crazy.
That comes back to Dario Argento's, to Asia Argento's half sister, actually. There's a scene at the end of the film, right? Over the end credits, there's a reggae song being played.
There is.
And we see this girl, and she's dancing along to this reggae.
Oh, that is her.
That is Asia Argento's half-sister.
Half-sister, yep.
Who went on to die in a car accident less than 12 months later. She was
Sheesh.
anorexic herself, so she was
Yeah.
a big Argento kind of took her and wrote her pretty much into Ara's character.
Yeah, because I
So-
know Asia's mentioned that. Dario doesn't talk about it. Understandably so, I get that.
Yeah. We get the subplot then of the young boy. It's almost like Hitchcock.
Yeah, it's
Rear
very much
Window.
like Hitchcock. Yeah, definitely.
He's watching this house and where the killer is, and he's watching this killer.
Very psycho-like.
Yeah, and this killer's putting the contraption in the drawer, and he can see it. This killer's like putting the heads of all his victims in the window at times and all that. It's it's crazy. You see this young boy, and he's trying to tell his mother what's going on, and she's having none of it. She's like, "Oh no, there's no one there. There's no one there." But I don't know how far you want to take this. I don't know if you want to give everything away in this. Chris,
We won't give like the killer type part away because
Yeah,
it
'cause I
is a
don't-
good
the
it is a
Jay-
good reveal for the most part for that.
Oh yeah. I don't want to give it the whole twist away because of Jay, because we definitely want him to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the whole backdrop, like you say, like the rain, it's like a character in itself. Throughout the whole film, I do think this is kind of underrated. I don't know why people didn't warm to this. It didn't get a American release for some reason. I was reading Troy Howarth's book earlier, and that obviously didn't help it.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah. Maybe
But-
it just fell through the cracks for what have you was. But
Yeah, it's kind of his this David's relationship with Ara, and he's trying
this
to
is
put her on
is this the
right
one with
path.
the is this the one with the lesbian couple in it too? The one Asian chick, or is that the other one?
This is it. This is the one. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the one, yeah,
So-
because that's a trippy scene. Like something happens to both of them too. And that's kind of a good scene with the with their lover and stuff like that of what happens.
So I will say, without giving too much away, Trauma's the name of the film, and it kind of ties in with an incident that happens in a hospital. I'll put it that way, and you've got these nurses and doctors, they start getting picked off one by one. I don't think I'm
Yes.
giving away too much. But yeah, I mean, I won't go too much into it now from then on in because it'd be giving major spoilers away.
Yeah.
For me, solid, man. I mean, I like it even more every time I see it. I really do. Yeah.
It's definitely, yeah, it's a good solid 7 out of 10 for me. It's worth watching again. Definitely. That's a good release by Vinegar Syndrome. I'm shocked maybe this year, maybe we get a 4K out of nowhere. But yeah, it's very good. It's like, yeah, like you say with the seance type stuff, you see how thin she is here. Like, and she's always been petite anyway, which is interesting. But she filled out quite well for the most part. Yeah, because they were all recording all the stuff, what have you. So it like kind of works out like that.
I think for me, right, everyone talks about opera and Deep Red and Suspiria. This same track for me is right up there. It's right up there with his best, honestly. And I'll say that about Stendhal, and I'll say that about Sleepless as well. I think 3 very underrated.
And definitely with practical effects with this priest gentleman, where you kind of see what's on top there and stuff like that with a lot of this stuff. I'm like going, yeah, so they put in the work definitely for this too. But yeah, like I say, it's like raining a lot for the most part. And
you've got a creepy doll scene as well, which is...
Yes, you do. He likes bringing those back. That's used again in Sleepless, really. That's with like a marionette mannequin thing.
Deep Red is where that came from, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The most freakiest scene of all time. He's very young here. Like, because I recognize him because he's been in other stuff. Of course,
But it's
that's
quite
Mr.
kind of
Christopher Rydell.
controversial, right? Because he's playing... I think he was like 27 at the time. And
Yeah.
Asia Argento's 16, and they form a love relationship. So
Yeah.
it was kind of controversial for the time. But he said when he got to meet Asia Argento before filming, that she may have been 16, but he said intellectually and everything else, she was far beyond her years.
By beyond your years, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
they make jokes too because of his editor buddy. Like makes kind of like jokes because he's reading stuff from the paper and stuff like that too, and
Right.
just
Yeah.
sure, like signalizing her age and what have you. But yeah, I give it solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, Jay gets a chance, I think he'll definitely like it for what it is, for like the gore that's in here too, and the horror that's in there. And it's good Argento for its time. It's early for, like you say, 93 and stuff like that. And yeah, we have Mr.
I'm
Daniel
trying to think what I
Stein
give
here
it
saying
before.
hi.
Oh, hey Dan, what's happening, man? But yeah, I'm trying to think what I would probably give it more than that, to be honest, like an 8.5 for me. I know me and Dirk
Yeah,
did a
probably like
stream
7
a
and a
while
half
back.
wise and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But yeah, no, when they're good, they're good. And I know, and like I say, I'm a big fan of his too. I mean, we don't get Giallo the way it was in the 70s without, of course, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, which you and Dirk have talked about. You talked about the Animal trilogy with John Grande, another great YouTuber I suggest you all check out. Next up is another good one. Personally, one of my favorites from Argento, and in my opinion, probably Asia's best performance in a film from him and stuff like that too, because she got an award for another film that she did. But yeah, like you said, that's the Stendhal syndrome. That's the 4K from Vinegar syndrome. That was a big box one, wasn't it?
It looks gorgeous. Yeah, it does. I was really, again, people slag this release off. I don't know why. It's not going to get better than this for me. I don't see how you can get a better release.
Absolutely not. Yeah, that's Dario Argento's The Stendhal Syndrome from 1996, starring Asia Argento. And yeah, this is done in an actual museum too. I think Dario got permission to do it. It's some like famous museum too at the start of this. Go ahead and lead us off, Darren.
Yeah, Florence. So the museum was set in Florence, and if you watch Hannibal, the sequel, The Silence of the Lambs, it was shot pretty much in the same place. So you will see a lot of Florence in Hannibal, and you can kind of match it up with this film. So yeah, this one probably out of the three is my favorite. So you've got Argento back now in 1996. He was originally going to do this in America, but that kind of fell through. And he just thought, because he'd done so badly in America with the other films, that he was just going to think, well, hell to it. I'll set it in Florence. I'll set it in Italy, and we'll go from there. And I go back to making a Giallo film. Do you know what I mean? Where Trauma was probably more like a slasher film to me, in places. But
this is definitely Gialli in my opinion. Definitely Gialli. Yeah. This is
back.
Yeah.
This is a return to after Trauma, people did slag that off. This is kind of return to form. It's based on a novel of the same name. So the Stendhal syndrome is an actual thing. It's a real thing. It's when a person gets overwhelmed in the presence of painting or modern art. And Dario actually, as a child, went on a holiday in Athens in Greece with his parents, and he actually suffered from this, during
childhood trauma,
which is kind of crazy. Yeah. You've got the music by Ennio Morricone. He famously fell out with Argento back after Four Flies with Grey Velvet, but 25 years later they got talking, and Argento was happy enough to have him back on board. The score to this is incredible, man. Like, it really is. You played it in the trailer, or it's in the trailer, and just this, I don't know, it's kind of unique, the score, but it's almost like operatic at times.
It can be very, to your point.
Yeah. So you've got Asia Argento, she plays Detective Anna Mani. Alfredo Grossi is played by Thomas Kretschmann, and he plays this fucking psychopath, man.
Good looking cat.
He almost reminds me, talking of Silence of the Lambs, he kind of reminds me of a Buffalo Bill character.
Yeah, kind of like that.
In that one scene, when they're in the caves underneath, and there's a lot of sexual assault in this. I will say it's not going to be for everyone. But yeah, so she's this young detective. She's on the case of this kind of serial killer, and she gets drawn to this museum in Florence. And while she's there, we don't know at the time, but she's looking out for this serial killer. She's been tipped off. Yeah. But while she's there, we see her fainting, in the presence of these amazing, do you know what I mean, works of art, famous works of art all over the world.
Yes, it's a trippy starting sequence because she's walking around. It looks like she's lost, right? But like I say, she's looking for this really serial killer. He's a serial rapist, and he's a piece of shit.
Oh yeah. I mean,
there's bad special effects in this, like, and think 90s with this, almost think like Terminator 2 type stuff at the time.
This CGI this was the first Italian horror film they used CGI on.
Yeah, it's the first one. The painting was pretty cool, though. There's a scene where she walks in the painting and stuff like that. That was done very well. Yeah.
There's a scene as well where she goes underwater and she kisses this fish. And it was a fake fish, but they actually filmed it in the proper like sea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Do it in like a swimming pool or anything like that. But so she comes through and she's suffering from amnesia now. Alfredo, we know early on that he is the killer, so it's not giving too much away.
Yeah.
But he kind of befriends her, gives her a bag, says, "Look, here's a taxi money. You go back to the hotel." And she's like, "I don't know where, I don't know who I am," type thing. And all that, and people say, do you believe her as a 21-year-old detective?
I mean, yeah, because she's strained from her parents and all this other stuff too. There's scenes where she goes back to her parents and stuff like that too. It's like,
I mean, that's a stretch, isn't it? But it doesn't take anything away from it for me. There's a great scene early on as well where, like you say, she walks from this painting into like a murder scene. Do you know what I mean? When she goes back to Rome, I think it is. And
going through kind of what led her a little bit up to this, of what's kind of going on and what have you and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of past stuff comes to light.
But with that scene as well, it's so clever that when she goes back to the hotel room, the killer is waiting for her. And this guy's a fucking psycho. He's got like a razor blade in his mouth.
Yeah.
He kind of like flicks over on his tongue. He's like, he cuts her at one point, he cuts her lip and all that. But it's quite disturbing.
It's extremely disturbing. It's good extended, that's for sure.
It's nothing Argento's ever done before. It's just rape scene. There's 2 or 3 really brutal rape scenes in this. But yeah, he kind of lets her get away, which is kind of crazy. That's the arrogance of this killer. He just thinks, I can pick her up at any time. And so she kind of goes away and she gets her hair cut and she goes back to the hometown, back to her father and her brothers. And there's a whole scene where she's into self-harm as well. And she ends up boxing
with her detective.
Like
ex-boyfriend, I think it is, or something like that. She, because that's when she kind of cuts her hair and she gives him a little something kind of like.
Oh, she emasculates him, doesn't she? Which is a kind of a far out scene as it is.
It's very far off.
But there's another great shot where she's walking under this. She walks into this painting and she ends up in this waterfall. That's done so well. I mean, I don't want to take anything off Jay, man. You jump in whenever you want.
Yeah, you jump in whenever you want to, because I know you're kind of listening to us ramble.
Me and Chris can go a lot.
Yeah.
But just jump in whenever, Jay. Just jump in.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, because I'm new to all of this. Italian films, Argento, all of this. Darren and Dirk, particularly Darren, has been turning me on to some of these Italian films. And I'm most of them I'm watching for the first time. And so I'm very new, at 60 years old, I'm new to Italian films. I haven't, all these years, I really haven't watched them. And I've just now started to watch them thanks to Darren. And this one, gosh, for one thing, Asia Argento is just gorgeous in this movie.
Yeah,
she is. Yeah. She looks good in that wig with blonde hair, I have to admit.
She's just stunning, and just physically so attractive. Yeah. There's this extended sequence where she's captured by the killer rapist maniac.
Extremely, yeah.
She's strapped down, her arms are stretched out, she's strapped down to a floor, and she's raped repeatedly, she's abused, but she's a badass. She kicks his ass. She gets herself free. She beheads him, doesn't she?
She gets these springs, doesn't she?
Yeah, she gets the spring. She beats the bejesus out of him like you preserved. That's the thing.
And,
it doesn't happen once; it happens twice. That's where the rage kind of comes in.
If I remember right, don't she behead him eventually?
She puts him in a waterfall. She
rolls him off and stuff like that because she gets all chained up in his lair.
Yeah, she gets him, and then she
rolls him
his
towards
ass,
the
and then
waterfall.
she dumps him into this waterfall, and he goes washing down this river.
Yeah,
and even though they haven't found the body, it's assumed he's dead.
Yeah, it's assumed he's dead. Yeah,
and eventually they do find the body, but people continue to be killed.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I will say, I'm not going to spoil it. If you don't want to spoil it, I won't spoil it. But I knew who the killer was.
Yeah, we won't spoil it.
I was going to say, I think we should spoil this one because it's more of a talking point.
It is kind of more of a talking point. I thought maybe I knew who it was, and then maybe I thought it was somebody else because they kind of do a flip on you for like a quick second, and then you realize with the because she befriends this what is he, like a painter or a sculptor, right? And she's really happy with him and stuff like that. And this is after she's with the parents because she goes back to try to get some of her memory back. She goes up to her childhood room, and all this other stuff as well. And she just steps away from it for a while. But then all of a sudden it's almost like two different personalities, right? It's that scene where she's talking to, I think it's like psychiatrist or doctor, right? She has the blonde wig on. She has the black glasses, smoking a cigarette. That's sexy as all get out, because I remember when I did a review for this. And, going out with this dude and stuff like that, like having a good time on the motorcycle. And then he's going to meet her for something, or she was going to meet him for something like that. And, you get a call that he's dead. And then she goes in here. It's kind of like an emotional scene. She's like, no, while holding him and all this other stuff too. And yeah, go ahead, Darren. Rambling on a little bit.
I agree with Jay in a way. First time I saw this, I didn't see that coming. But
I think
going back, it's kind of obvious going back.
For me, why I kind of knew, who the killer was is because she is set up early in this movie as having kind of some mental issues.
Oh, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. She's out of her mind.
She's nuts.
She paints herself and stuff like that, which is all. And so she's all get out.
After the killer rapist is dispatched and deaths continue to happen, that just, to me, I was like, well, it's her,
Yeah, she took over his persona.
Now, I will say, when her boyfriend is killed, I had a little bit of a doubt because she's outside of the building.
She is, yeah. And
so I had a bit of a doubt, but still, I was pretty steadfast. Yeah, it's her. She's, like you say, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She's nuts. And so it's probably her. She's lost touch with reality. She's, and so when it's revealed that it was indeed her, and it's a great ending too.
It's a great ending with her ex-detective boyfriend too. That scene and stuff like that, because you think something's going to happen. Because what is it, Darren? He opens the trunk or something like that. Because you're thinking, something's going to happen here. Like,
I mean, he goes back to her place and he sees that she's killed the psychiatrist.
He killed the psychiatrist. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, like, when she puts the blonde wig on, I should have guessed there and then that she's taking on the killer.
It's dressed to kill almost in that aspect, right? She's putting on a disguise as a persona, as somebody else to do this stuff.
But the one scene, going back just a little bit, where she cuts her hair in the mirror, that short hair, man, when she's traveling down on the train to see her father, she fucking looks so fucking gorgeous, man.
Yeah, I know you like her with short hair and stuff like that. I have to admit, she does look good with short hair. I don't know. There's something about long hair on her.
No, I agree with Darren. Her with the short hair, I just thought she was just stunning. One of the prettiest actresses I've seen in a movie, period, is her in Stendhal Syndrome. And I was really taken with her, just being a horny old bastard, but just
I'm the same, Jay.
How attractive she was, in this. Now this might be the only movie I've seen her in so far, but a really good actress in this one too.
She is. That's why I say it's her best role, in my opinion. She acts her ass off in this film.
It is,
and when she's raped and such, and all of that is so traumatic. But when she gets free and starts kicking his ass, I was like, yeah, damn straight.
Because it happens to her twice. That's what makes it worse. Like badly twice. She gets raped once, and then he gets her again. Gets her in this cave, right near this forest area and stuff like that, and he like has all this, torture stuff and ties her up and all this other stuff too. And then just gets him, like you say, Darren, in his eye.
I think
and all
it's
this
kind of like what Darren said is the arrogance he has. It's like, well, I got you once.
That's his undoing. Yeah.
I get you whenever I want. You're mine.
He even says that. He's like, I got you twice.
He kills that woman, doesn't he, in the car in front of her. And then
yes, he does. Yep.
He puts a bullet through her cheek. I know it's bad CGI, but then you see a great shot of him looking through her cheek like that at Asia Argento's character. Man,
it's definitely a good one. Darren, what's your score?
Oh man, the Stendhal thing. Okay, for me, I'm talking a 9, possibly a 9.5. Honestly.
Oh wow, that's very good.
This is in my top 5 Argento films, like easily as well, easily.
Very good. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. I liked it the first time. I liked it the other times that I've seen it and stuff like that too. It's just very good to pick up that Blu-ray from Blue Underground and stuff like that. And so happy Vinegar Syndrome released that on 4K. So that should be a big seller. I think they already sold out of that. That should be a huge seller for them because you got basically 2 bangers from them. It's like, yeah, we can do this and then we can do this too because they've always been good with Argento too as a boutique company. That's for sure.
What would you rate it, Jay? 8 or 10?
Well, it's my favorite Argento that I've seen so far. And
nice.
I've only seen a few, but I'm gonna go with Darren. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Oh, very good. I'm very happy that you liked it, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, but because her performance and just her period, the way she looks. And really, I got into the movie, and was, when things got bad, I was traumatized. I was, It's
almost like she's channeling Marilyn Monroe here a little bit. This is the one I used for my.
She's
for my
nice
picture for that review.
She's nice as a blonde as well, man. She really is.
Great as a blonde. That's a good wig.
That's the Argento I like. That's the Argento I like.
Mm.
But this film could have been so much different, right? Because it was going to originally be shot in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
They were thinking about having Bridget Fonda, and they even talked about Daryl Hannah was going to be Asia Argento's character.
It's a wonder there wasn't an American remake.
Yeah.
I am surprised. This is the woman that she's with here. That's her boyfriend's mom. When he dies and stuff like that, she comes to there and stuff like that, and she's doing her condolences and all this other stuff too. Like, it's crazy when they ride from the airport.
She goes to see his wife at one point as well, the killer's wife, and she's actually played by Cynthia Monreal, the blind woman from The Beyond. So
that is her. Yeah. There's the other couple, boyfriend and stuff like that, going to see her where her parents live and stuff like that too.
You kind of feel sorry for him.
You kind of do, because she wants nothing to do with them.
Did anyone get like Repulsion vibes as well watching this? Because there's a few scenes
I did. That's one of Roman Polanski's best.
Yeah. I mean, look at the way it's shot. You know,
Yeah, it's a beautiful film.
Stunning, and it just the whole city of Florence is just a stunning backdrop.
Yeah, that's when he captures her for the second time and stuff like that too. And you see how dead she is, kind of with the eyes. She's like, yeah, like almost like defeated wise.
Yeah. Oh, we got to mention the big dick demon as well on the wall. In the cave. And this demon thing comes to life at one point, and you don't know if she's hallucinating or what have you.
Yeah, that is a trip. It's just when she goes through that painting and stuff like that to these scenes, crime scenes or whatever it is. I just like that. That was shot like perfectly was. Playing the cop kind of character. Yeah, that's where she literally paints herself all in that. My goodness. And she talked about that too. She's like, yeah.
She did that for real, yeah.
Yeah, did that for real. I can see her as a model previously. I'm shocked she wasn't.
Dario put her through a lot, mine, in this film.
Of course he did.
You know?
Yeah.
And he trusted her completely. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of talk of nepotism at one point, that she's only got the part because she's Dario Argento's daughter, which is stupid when you see her performance. You can't, there's no argument. Like she knocks it out the park.
And was it, well, it being more of a later film, you know, in the 90s, but I just wonder if it was kind of unique to have a female detective.
It was
100%.
This to me has a Candyman setting, right? You see all the pictures, right? You see all the graffiti in this place and stuff like that because it's been abandoned. That's nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, through all these people, that's a great shot. You know, like shameless plug there for a Coors Light there with the dude in the hat.
Apparently that museum was like that in real life. If you go there, you spend 8 hours waiting. It's always like an 8-hour wait going around the corner of the museum to get in.
And there's the ending to the film basically right there, which is a trip, right? They all just take her and
I was going to ask both of you, right? I was going to ask both of you. So the ending, what do you think happens with the ending? Do you think she goes to an insane asylum, or do you think she's just traumatized so much that they'll try and heal her in some way and she'll get off?
Knowing these films like this, I think they would like halfway do it. You know what I mean? Like send her to like a doctor and stuff like that too. And it'd be one of those things where one of the officers comes to visit her and stuff like that, like, and asks how she doing, you know? And you see her there.
Portrayed as the victim here, even though she's killed someone at this point.
Oh, what a shot. Yeah, that's a great shot.
She's killed more than someone, hasn't she? She's killed the killer as well as the boyfriend. But yeah, I mean, there's more sympathy with her character, I think, towards the end, right at the end.
That's very Candyman-like. You see, like, the mouth open and all this other stuff, too. I think that was before that.
That's the old Scream painting. Very similar.
There he is and stuff like that in there.
This came out at the same time as Scream as well.
That did. Yeah, he's menacing in the role.
So Thomas Kretschmann, he goes on and he stars in Dracula 3D, Argento's film.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not bad in it. I kind of like him, I do.
But yeah, just basically classic stuff.
Stunning actress, man.
Yeah, it's a great shot of him too. But yeah, like I say, a lot of just that painting in the back is a trip.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick, I don't know what you guys would pick. I'll ask you the question now. Who are your favorite kind of female actresses? In terms of looks and acting.
I'll let Jay go ahead and start that one.
I like when an actress plays a part where she can stand up for herself. She can be, very, very proactive.
I know I put you on the spot a little
bit. I'm trying to think of an example here. That Sigourney Weaver.
Alien.
Sigourney Weaver in Alien, where she's put in a position where she has not only some control, but she has some authority. And she uses that authority.
That's very true. Yeah, she's a badass in that. I love Alien.
characters like that, and or they're batshit nuts like Piper Laurie and Carrie.
Oh God, yeah.
What about attractiveness? Would you say?
Well,
is your top?
like Asia, in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like to say
Rachel Ward, like she's
yeah.
great in Night School and
She's
great
gorgeous
actress
as
too.
well.
By the way, gorgeous.
I mean, for me, it's hard to pick between Asia and Edwidge Finesse. And then you can throw Baba Boucher in there as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's my Giallo queen. So
those three, man.
Barbara Steele. Like
imagine having to make the choice of those three, like which one you're gonna marry. Fuck me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice problem in it to have, kind of thing. But
so, yeah, very good. So we kind of rank them all around the same. So that's very good. So yeah, so we're on the good track here. Next up is
on the opposite end of the scale. I hate when a female character is simply a victim.
Yeah, I do too. I don't like that as much.
And as much as I love The Shining, poor Shelley Duvall.
Oh God, yeah.
She spends most of the movie screaming and cowering, and I love the movie. I really do. I'm very critical of the movie because I'm kind of like Stephen King with The Shining. He doesn't like The Shining. He doesn't.
Of course not. Kubrick threw away the script.
He says it's a very cold film. Not only just it's very literally cold, but it's figuratively cold.
Yeah.
And I've read the book several times. I'm a big Stephen King fan. I read the books. I've read the Shining book several times. And the character that Shelley Duvall plays in the actual book is very proactive. She's very strong. She's a strong female. She stands up for her son. And they just, and I blame Kubrick for that. I don't blame Shelley Duvall for it. But she's this cowering, shivering, screaming victim through the whole movie, pretty much.
She is, yeah. She's very submissive to the Jack Lawrence character.
Submissive, and I don't like that. And also, it's not true to the character from the original story. I'll say that. I'll side with Stephen King in that point.
Right. The story's a lot kind of different wise.
It's a great Stanley Kubrick movie. It's a terrible adaptation.
Adaptation to the Stephen King book, yeah.
But it's a great standalone horror film on its own. Even though I think Jack Nicholson overacts his ass off, I still love him in it, but I think he overacts. He's got some great scenes. Anyway, we're not talking about The Shining.
It's good. No, we can talk.
No, that's great.
But Jack Nicholson, for me, that's kind of the point. Like him overacting, that's kind of the point for me.
Yeah.
The Shelley Duvall thing as well, I kind of don't really agree. I actually think she was like that behind the scenes. She almost suffered a breakdown, I think, at one point.
Well, her hair was falling out.
Yeah,
no, I mean, literally, yeah. Kubrick gave her a hard time in that film.
All that you see on screen is what she was going through all that during filming as well. I've not read, so I'll give it to you, Jay, in that respect. So I've not read the book.
Here's the other aspect, and this is something I've heard a lot of people talk about, and this is something that I've always had the opinion too, is that in the original story, Jack Nicholson's, Torrance character is supposed to slowly lose his mind. But when you watch the movie, Jack Nicholson is pretty much nuts from the very beginning.
Well, he is. He's a drunk. He's a drunk piece of shit dad, really, for the most part. That's what he is.
And just the way he talks. I mean, they're driving to the hotel, and you hear that, honey? You saw it on the television, And,
yeah.
He acts kind of loopy from the very beginning. You don't see a progression to madness. You see him just pretty much nuts.
Yeah, just get to that point. Yeah.
Danny's frightened to death of him. There's a whole undercurrent of the abuse angle to that film as well,
well, very much so in the book.
I don't know if it was like hinted at sexual abuse, but certainly physically abused. Yeah.
And dealing with alcoholism is a very big thing in the book. But let me ask you, speaking of The Shining, What do you think of that final shot? What does it mean to you?
So you're talking about when he's frozen, yeah?
The picture.
Yeah.
Well, the houses or the hotel it's a conduit. So like it replaces the owner of that hotel with him, or that resort with his
There's
character.
almost like could it be like possession because of what happened to the
it's definitely a horror film where you become part of the house. You know what I mean? It's what was used in American Horror Story, right? You die there and your spirit is kind of trapped there. So I think his spirit is trapped in the hotel, in the Overlook Hotel. I think it's stuck there. They could have done a sequel, which I'm shocked they never did. Well, you know what I mean? Like they did, but you know what I mean? Like a sequel, like at that hotel or whatever like that, they go back there. But I would like to do, if they would have done it like a few years later wise, and it would just.
So Jay, what would that final shot for you then? What do you get
kind
from
of what you guys are saying, that it's kind of the hotel absorbs whoever's running the show at the time. You know?
Exactly.
And as someone else gets the job later, it's going to be their picture. You know, their face is going to be in the
One thing about Stephen King books is like even buildings are its own characters, right? The Marston House, everything revolves around the Marston House, right? Everything revolves around the Overlook Hotel. Everything revolves around something. Even Cujo revolves around something. So,
yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, that's good conversation. So our last one that we're talking about tonight, and we'll go overextended with this bad boy because I really like this film a lot, is 2003 or 2001 Sleepless. This was a pleasant surprise watching this for the first time. This has a Goblin score in it as well, and the late great Max von Sydow, Ming the Merciless, and other great roles as well as in this film too. A great actor, a great dude in real life, and what have you. It's a great score in here too. We basically have this killer going around killing these women and stuff like that as well. Specifically, a scene I know, Darren, you like a lot, that takes place on the tram at the start really of this film, because it starts out pretty quickly. First off, Jay, what's your thoughts on this film?
Ooh. Oh gosh, I have a kind of a shaky response to this movie, because I'm a big fan of Max von, I think it's Sydow.
Sydow, something like that. I always say Sydow.
Of course, The Exorcist and Needful Things, and he was my main.
Yeah, The Exorcist. Yeah, Needful Things, the devil, basically.
And so he is presented as this. He used to be a cop, and he's investigating these murders. Although he's not on the case, but he's very interested.
Right, he's kind of retired.
Yeah, but he's investigating this, and he's kind of getting clues, and he's getting closer to it. And I was really getting wrapped up in it. And now this will be a major spoiler, so you don't mind spoilers?
Yeah, good.
No, go right ahead, Jack.
Yeah, go ahead.
The killer is known as the dwarf killer.
Yeah.
And the several years ago, 20 years ago or whatever, there were several deaths occurred. Murders occurred by this so-called dwarf killer, and now similar murders are being committed today. That they're wondering, well, is it someone else that's kind of copying the dwarf killer, or is it the actual dwarf killer? Because they, and Max von Sydow is, investigating what's going on
with his bird, with his parrot,
picking up clues and stuff. And then he gets kind of attacked by the killer, and he has a heart attack and dies.
Right, he sees kind of who it is, because they scare him.
That really, really upset me, because I was getting so wrapped up in him as a character, Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
And I was hoping, well, I'm following him, and he's going to be the one that ultimately find out the solution to all this.
Yeah, because he's helping this person that comes back.
He is the one that first finds out who the killer is.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then when he's confronted by the killer, because he has heart issues. It's been established he's got heart issues.
Yeah.
He has a heart attack and dies, and I was literally pissed off at that.
It's like
because look, you give me a character that I'm really enjoying his investigation of what he's doing, the performance he's giving, and you kill him off with a heart attack. And I was so upset, I nearly stopped the movie. I was almost like, I don't even give a fuck who the killer is anymore. You kill off him. You made me root for this guy, and you're going to kill him off with a heart attack? It angered me. It really did anger me. I thought it was a cheap shot. It was a cheap thing to do. And it was, what Darren kind of compared it to Hitchcock, kind of like Janet Leigh in Psycho, but then Janet Leigh is killed off early in that film. Max von Sydow's in most of this movie.
It's like, 3/4 of it.
And then he has a heart attack and dies, and you take him out of the picture. I almost just quit after that because it so upset me to take him and kill him off and to do it that way. Don't give him a noble death and, where he's fighting for his life. You kill him off with a heart attack.
Right.
So I stuck it out. And when you actually get to, I'll let you, you and Darren talk about who the killer is and all that. I go, okay, I enjoyed it, but because of Max von Sydow being killed off, I will say I didn't enjoy it near as much as you guys.
Right. So it goes down a bit. No, I get it.
It upset me.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's what makes a great. Yeah, that's what makes it very cool, my man. Because, like I say, a lot of stuff brings it down. It was with me with Four Flies on Gray Velvet. The comedy aspect of that film. There's a character that they introduced. Wise, I'm not going to spoil that too. It just brought it down like a little bit. But I'm like going, you kind of put that in there. With that, I thought with his death, I almost thought it was a callback to stuff like Deep Red with the doll all going towards him. Then we go farther back to Diabolique with that scene. Now, that scene happens towards the end of the film, though, to your point, Jay, right? And there's different circumstances to that.
I got to be honest, I felt the same as Jay for quite a long time. I've watched this film more times than I'd like to say. But the first 4 or 5 watches, I had the same kind of reaction. You are actually gutted when that scene.
Yeah, I have to admit. So it gets the effect off. To your point.
But over the years now, I've watched it. I watch it every year, at least once or twice, and I'm over that now, and I kind of can enjoy it a little bit more. And it's
another thing I'll say. Sorry to interrupt you, but another thing.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I watched a dubbed version with subtitles, and I didn't know there was an English dubbed version, but I haven't seen that. I may go back and watch it with the English if I can find it straight.
And it's his own voice as well in the English track.
Yeah, because
it's kind of crazy.
In the dub version, it's not Sydow's voice. It doesn't sound anything like him, and it's subtitles. I watch it with subtitles.
Yeah.
So maybe if I watch the English language version, I would have a slightly and since I know what's going to happen now to the character, it's not going to be a surprise, and maybe I can enjoy the film more. I thought it was very well made. I thought the deaths were creative, and I thought it was a good story, but it was just that aspect of it that sort of took me out of it.
I understand. I completely understand.
To me, the ending sequence is very Argento. It almost harkens back to The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, where it's an extended sequence. Of course, that's better than this extended sequence in this film. But nonetheless, we're talking about Sleepless from 2001. Darren, go ahead and lead us off here with this.
Right. So they got Goblin back for the music after a hell of a long time. This ranks... God, man, I'm going to say it. I think this is actually my favorite soundtrack from Argento, and that's above Suspiria, Deep Red.
Oh,
I love the theme to this film.
Nice.
I just completely love the theme to this film. You've got special effects by Sergio Stivoletti. The guy who did all the demons effects and all that. I love the cast, or certainly most of the cast. There's the dwarf killer's mother is played by Rosella Falk, and I love that actress, and she was in The Fifth Chord, Black Belly of Tarantula, the killer is on the phone. So it was great to go back and see her, to see Gabrielle Lavia from Deep Red as well. He plays Mr. Betty. I wasn't a big fan of Stefano Di Nosi, who plays Giacomo. Like, you know, him and his girlfriend, or the girl he kind of links up with later, Gloria. She's
Yeah,
like
because that's a trip too. Because she has a boyfriend. She has a boyfriend, and he just like exits the scene completely when that ends up happening.
Her part, Gloria, was going to be Asia Argento, but Asia Argento was pregnant at the time, and she gave birth to a little girl around the same time, I want to say. Yeah. The opening theme to this is just great. You've got that goblin music and all the shit, right? So, you know, I'll briefly go through the start and see how we go. But we see this like brutal aftermath of this killing by this musical instrument. I think it's the English horn or what have you.
Yeah, in the mouth.
You know, you've got this young boy and he sees his mother getting killed. But Moretti takes him aside early on. He says, look, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get this killer.
Because he's a detective at the time. Stendhal's character is a detective at the time.
Yeah, if it takes me all my life, I'm going to get this guy. And then we go to this fucking crazy scene of this prostitute, and she's with this client. Yeah. And they're kind of doing some kind of role play together, and it's really weird, right? But yeah, so this guy, he's in bed, like he has his way with this prostitute. He's like, go away, I don't want to, you know. So she's like ready, frantically getting all her things and what have you, and she picks up a blue file, which happens to have all the newspaper clippings and all the kind of in-depth diagrams and all this of all the murders that were happening, you know, going back those years ago. And yeah, it's just superb. It's all kind of the first 20 minutes is set on this train where the killer's stalking this woman. You know, he ends up like brutally like cutting her fingers off at one point and all that. Just the music when she's running through the train, you know, she goes to get the conductor.
Right, there's a blue tint to it too.
Yeah, there is.
You know, it harkens back to this almost harkens back a little bit to Phenomenon a little bit.
There's a lot of
these chase scenes and the point of you know the POV shots and stuff like that as well.
But in that blue file, kind of interesting, there's a book called The Death Farm, and literally I think it's almost like a novel version of all the murders he's been doing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he goes off of that. That's right. He goes off. The killer goes off of the book with stuff that's in there. Does he talk in riddles too or whatever?
He does. Yeah. And even then, you know, like a woman who's planning to meet up with this prostitute, she ends up at the train station waiting for her.
Yeah, waiting for her.
Realizes she's not going to get off the train, so she jumps on to investigate a little bit, and all that. It's all done in the rain again, which I love. You know, Argento just does it so well. And then, like you say, you've got like Jay said earlier, then you've got this dwarf killer. We don't know if he's back. Apparently, he committed suicide and killed himself. But we find out what happens later on with his mother. His mother actually killed him out of mercy, so he didn't have to go to prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Moretti coming on the scene, and you really
mommy issues. I gotta love my mommy issues in these films. So it's mom issues.
Yeah. But what I like about the killings as well, they're all based around these nursery rhymes. So there's one about a cat, and you get this woman gets killed. Then you know, there's one about the rabbit and this buck.
Don't they go see this like shady dude too, like in this alleyway? And just as soon as they see the dude, somebody else comes and takes him out, and that's a good extended scene with that too.
And the killings in this as well, I know Jay mentioned it, are brutal. They really don't hold back. I mean, the one killing of that woman with the buck teeth, when he's slamming her fucking face into the wall, man, it is just so grisly. You got the one with the cat is actually the dancer, and she's dressed as a cat.
Yeah, she's dressed as the cat. Yeah.
Asia Argento, actually, even though she's she got nothing to do with the acting in this film. She's the person who actually wrote all the nursery rhymes.
Yes.
So she, you know, I think it's kind of cool that he got her in there somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
But being pregnant, you know, obviously she couldn't do it. Yeah, there's some grisly murders. I mean, I like the way because at one point you think you've got it sussed with the father of Lorenzo's father. But there's a big giveaway scene early on where Lorenzo...
because he goes to visit him because he's his best friend, really, for the most part. And that family is shady from the start. Like, you kind of don't know what's going on with that, too. They have, like, dinner and stuff like that as well. They're all kind of like friends. They all knew each other as kids and stuff like that. That's where he hooks back up with Gloria, who's not a violin player. She plays a cello? I think it is.
She plays
a harp. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah,
and that comes into play later on. But yeah, like you say, they're all linked from childhood together and all that. You got the love. There's a bit of a love story goes on as well. A bit of a love triangle at one point.
Well, I said that kind of because the boyfriend that she has kind of knows what's going on and stuff like that. And like I say, there's a scene where he kind of sees them together, like whatever, like that, and he kind of knows his place in the thing. So I'm like going, oh, okay, and he just kind of disappears.
Actually, the Giacomo and that actress were a real life item, even though they got zero chemistry on camera.
That's how it works.
Things, you know. After a while, I'm sure, but but there's a distinctive thing that happened during that first murder where Giacomo hears this kind of hissing sound and he can't make out what it is, whistling sound.
Yeah.
And which, you know, they tell us at the end what that is with the inhaler and all that. So I thought that was kind of clever. But yeah, I mean, there's a scene in it which would not go down well today where they get all these dwarfs in the police station. You got the comedy music as they go in.
Yeah, that is quite funny.
I could have done without that shit, man. I don't know why Argento included that. But the whole backstory of the dwarf killer, and he was this writer of these detective novels and nursery rhymes and all that. I love all that.
Moretti helps him too to try to find out who killed his mom. You know, he has those recordings and stuff like that. And it's that scene, unfortunately, you know, to Jay's point, where he figures out who it is. And it's all happens to be all dark in the room. I think the killer turns the lights off. And, you know, you just see that scene and stuff like that. And it is very sad because it's the bird. The bird says something. Yeah, because I think it's an African gray, isn't it?
It is a gut punch. I will.
Yeah, it's a gut punch and stuff really like that.
And the actual, you find out the actual dwarf is a doll, and it's basically a bum, a vagrant he's got to you know.
It's because they get because like I said, Stefano or how you say guacamole or something like that. I was about to say guacamole. Yeah, Giacomo goes with her and stuff, and there's tension between the two. They kind of get like annoyed with each other, but he finds it's like this apartment building that the one dude that I think he's chasing goes into. That's where you see like this big doll. It's like very big. Like I say, like in here, like in all this stuff too. He's trying to get a key to get in there. All this stuff kind of happenings. It's a really good ending to this film. I was actually impressed with that. It's definitely Argento-esque in what it does.
I mean, with that, what Jay said then about the twist with the doll, I mean, it is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but we're watching a horror movie, so we don't take everything, you know.
Right. You know, we take stuff with a grain of salt, but it can be annoying to the point.
And the fact that the killer was literally so young when he did the first killing. So, I mean, that's kind of, you know, would he have had the power to have killed the mother like that? I don't know, but
yeah, because a certain character happens to be there, which is his one friend's dad, and that's when, you know, his buddy shows up and kills him, I believe, right, and kind of tells the story of what happened and all this other stuff too. Go ahead, Darren, just kind of explain that a bit.
So, like I'd say early on, towards the middle, we find out that the mother of this dwarf had killed him out of a mercy killing, so he didn't have to go to prison. Yeah. And there was a lot of people at the time that didn't believe that this dwarf was the actual killer. But there was a bit of a stigma at the time. But as the film goes on, yeah, we actually think then the killer's going to be Lorenzo's father, Gabriel Lavia.
Right, yeah, it leans towards him. Yeah.
And he goes completely psychotic. You know, he ends up shooting Giacomo in the shoulder, I think it is.
Yep.
And all that. But then we get the other twist then that we find out that Lorenzo is the killer. And the way they shoot Lorenzo at the end and his head fucking explodes. I mean, it's one of the craziest endings. And that's not easy to come by when you're talking about Argento, but yeah, it's one of the great head explosions.
And it is, and then it's very deep. It's very deep red light where it's very fast paced and it shows the credits right as everything's still going on with the police and stuff.
Yeah, which he did in Deep Red, I believe, didn't he? And I know he did something similar in the Card Player where he carries on the film after the credits are going down. But no, I mean, this one for me, it's not. I don't know whether I like Stendhal. I probably like Stendhal a little bit more, but it's not far behind. It's like an 8.5 all day for me, at least, I'd say. Yeah.
I'll give this one, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10 as well. It seems that maybe it's like Trauma seems to be the lesser out of them all, but I still love them a lot. And like I said, this was originally an artisan release. So it was very cool that Scorpion and then Vinegar Syndrome decided to pick it up wise. So El Sang of Innocence, that looks pretty good, or whatever like that name would originally be. So
I got a question though. Keep it on that picture. There's rumors that used to be a man.
I can kind of see it.
Because I thought that at first. Apparently she was in a relationship with one of the cameramen or one of the men behind the scenes. But a lot of people said on set at the time they wondered if it was a transsexual. But
was it? Yeah.
Because I know Argento does include transsexuals in his film, as he did in Deep Red and he did in Tenebrae. So maybe. But there's no definite answer to that because I was reading Troy's book. That's just such a great scene on the train, man.
Yeah, all of her kind of friends for the most part and stuff like that as well. Yeah. There she is. Boy, that's teeth look like my own, to tell you the truth. I'm Mr. Bucky Beaver over here.
But this film was shot in Turin as well.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, John Turin. This gentleman is where he kind of chases him.
I like that. I like that character, yeah. He's a bit of he likes his wine, doesn't he? He's a bit of a
yes, he sure does.
She looks
there's the
like,
voice.
She's
there's
not
the
as
couple.
nice as Asia Argento, but she looks like her a little bit.
She does. Yeah, she actually does. She has that forehead of her. The heart.
And there's that great scene towards the end as well, where she's dressed as a swan and she's playing the harp, and we find out that the killer's about to kill a swan. But then they give you a misdirection because he kills a swan in the same production, but not her. So
not her. Yeah.
Kind of clever. Yeah.
Yeah, there she is. She's dressed like a cat.
Do you know the nightclub scene I want to mention as well? So that reminds me a lot of American Psycho. There's a scene in American Psycho where there's all these women dancing on stage. It reminds me very much of that. Or some, I was going to say some beautiful actresses in this as well.
That's when he was a child, I think, or younger. Wise, you kind of see that look on his face.
They do a good job with that as well because he kind of looks like him a little bit.
This is very like opera-esque with these scenes too. I noticed.
Yeah.
He's a very good actor too. He's been in other things.
Gabriel Lavia, yeah, he was in Deep Red.
Yep.
Yeah,
there it is. Basically, he's picking that up. Look at that. It's like a huge, thing in the hat and all this other stuff too. That's used in the killing.
It's a clever little twist, isn't it? Like twist of a twist of a twist, really. But Lorenzo's kind of obvious as the killer, I think, early on, but it doesn't bother me.
Oh, that's a great shot. Yeah.
She's another great looking actress, actually. Yeah.
There's Mr.
I'd love to have maybe seen them do an alternative version where Moretti does stay alive, to be honest. That would have been nice.
Yeah, there's talk.
But you warm to his character, didn't you?
Yeah, you just warm up to it.
He's just got this likable aspect to him.
Oh, yeah, that character and stuff like that. He gets injured or whatever.
That's the giveaway when he pretends he's being poisoned.
Yeah.
And I think that gives away the film for me. pretty
This is
early
a
on.
good scene here too, when she's kind of done doing what she was doing with the dance and stuff like that. And she walks down, you know what I mean, into this corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah, that's
another
terrific.
great scene as well with the draining. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that first 20 minutes is like, that's Rosella Fault there. I love it as an actress.
Yeah, it's top tier.
It's as good as any Argento sequence you will see that first 20 minutes to me. Yeah, some great shots, man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this other stuff seems to happen in these places. Yeah, there's the shot right there. It's used for a slip for the scorpion release. I should have got that when I had the chance. Yeah, all these different type of weapons and all this other stuff as well. Yeah, that one right there. There's the scene right there. That's very good Argento there. That's pretty bloody too from him.
Death by a musical instrument as well, which was done in The Tame That Dreaded Sundown too. But this is another one, you know, it looks great.
Yeah, the 4K I'm sure looks terrific wise for the most part.
Cinematography, yeah, man, cinematography is great. Rosella Falk, I love her, man. But we'll have to do another one of these.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, with the that's not acting great, but yeah, him with his parrot. I have to admit that was kind of funny. But yeah, that was Sleepless. Yeah, we had some great, good films here to talk about. I'm very happy that Jay, was able to join us for this one. What's your overall thoughts on Sleepless there, Jay? What score would you give it?
Listening to you guys talk about it, it's I'm going to go with my experience with it rather than my thoughts of it as an actual movie, because I think it's very well made, very well shot, well acted. Like you say, it's got some really good kills in it. But like I say, my personal experience watching it for the first time is when Van Sito's character dies. That upset me, that disappointed me. Because of my experience, I'm giving it a 6.5.
Okay.
Now,
pretty good, actually.
I need to revisit it. I need to see an English version, English dub version of that, and take that away, since I know now what happens, and try to experience it again, and maybe my score would go up considerably.
I think you've got potential to go up at least a point once you do that. Yeah. Because this is his own voice as well. You like him even more, man. I tell you. You really do.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like what you guys were saying, it's very well made, and there's several really good moments in it. It was just that particular aspect of it, that disappointment of taking that character out of the picture so late in the film, when it was a character that I thought was going to be the one that was going to solve everything and be sort of the hero of the film.
Well, he kind of does though, doesn't he? Because he solves it and he rings to tell Giacomo.
And he leaves that voice message.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice message I thought was a trip. That's definitely very Argento-esque.
He is literally the hero and the guy who solves it. He just happens to have a heart attack, which is not great.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So I'm sure I see it again, but hopefully see and find an English version of it and see.
No, it's around. Yeah, just check around and stuff like that, and you'll definitely find it. Overall, Darren, your thoughts too on these three?
I've gone on record saying that I think these three are probably his most underrated three films. If I'm honest.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about. I've done streams on these with Dirk. I've done one with John Grande, and now I could talk these all day long. As you can tell. But people, if you've not seen these, then I highly, you should really just check them out and go with it, man.
Yeah, another person join us, ABC 99D and stuff like that. Yeah, love Sleepless, amazing Giallo. Yeah, definitely. Not a big fan of Black Glass. Is not bad, but not good Argento. It's true. It's kind of towards the end of his, you can say, film cycle and stuff like that. But I thought it was good for what it was. It was kind of a return to form for the most part, considering the drama that he did before this.
Yeah, Black Glasses is good, but it's grown on me the more I watch it. I wasn't particularly a massive fan of the twist in Black Glasses, but in terms of like all the stuff when she's with the little Chinese boy and you've got the eclipse and all that, I like all that stuff. But we'll have to do another one of these and maybe pick out another 3 for Jay. Hopefully some really good ones.
Oh, yeah. I definitely have plans for Slasher Stream 15. I'm going to talk about that with these gentlemen after we're done here. We got a lot of stuff planned ahead, some great stuff. And yeah, this was definitely fun. I agree with Darren with these films. It's a good introduction to Dario, to tell you the truth. I would always say watch Suspiria. That's the greatest introduction to Dario you would see. For Giallo, it's definitely Bird with the Crystal Plumage, but these three don't get talked about enough in my opinion, so I'm very happy that these boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome have released these. It's very cool to have those kind of lesser ones that people can kind of check out wise and kind of put him on the map really over here, for his later films during the 90s and early 2000.
I think the best to start off, that I would say, would be Opera and Tenebrae. Those would be the two big ones I would
Oh, yeah, Tenebrae, definitely. I know you love that one. We've talked about that one in the past. That's one of your all-time favorites, definitely. For me, of course, it's Deep Red. I can talk about that forever. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stendhal Syndrome, I like. Trauma, maybe a bit more. Both good films, but not the level of Argento classics. Yeah, definitely. It's more
I agree with that.
horror-wise, type stuff-wise, and it's more definitely 90s-esque and stuff, but definitely with Sleepless, like say with that soundtrack, to your point of the score, it just kind of works wise, and you can see Argento's influence in the camera work and all that other stuff as well.
But don't you think these three films, right, sometimes get criticized negatively because they put them up against his best films? Like they compare them to like Suspiria and Tenebrae, which is unfair, I think.
Yeah, it plays to his greatness, to tell you the truth, as a director in the whole sphere of film. Not just horror, but just in film in general. So you can say it's like with Hitchcock towards the end of his career. Unfortunately, films like Frenzy, which I don't think get enough credit. And same thing with films like Sleepless and like that. They're all kind of medium to what ABC said. With that and stuff like that, but they're still good and they're still kind of Argento, to your point, like Jake kind of mentioned and stuff like that. Certain scenes kind of hit you a bit differently, for the effect, and you're thinking, oh, that could have been different. You know what I mean? They could have had a different cut of that and stuff like that. So it just leads to how cool these films are. Yeah, definitely. Great Vinegar Syndrome releases. Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah. Films that look great in 4K, and it's definitely Argento. First off, Jay, I'll get to you. Thank you again very much for joining us. It's been an honor. I really do appreciate that. What do you have planned for your channel, my man?
Well, I mean, you guys were on my show last night. I was talking about the most famous horror movie directors or best horror movie directors. And we got through 18 names. I hope both of you guys are going to join me for the next show about that.
Man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great.
And I wrote some names down that weren't on the list, but I wrote some names down that, Ari Aster and Damien Leone, some more recent names that I think deserve to be on the list.
Exactly.
But I would invite anyone that's watching, if you would go and join my channel. It's J Real. That's the channel, J Real. Yep. And
when I edit the YouTube part and stuff, I'll make sure I put the. I think I put your channel in, but I'll look. But definitely I'll put Jay's channel in. Definitely check him out, dude. He's killing it already. He's getting up there in subs, so it's very good. Hey, Stacy, what's going on? Thanks for dropping in. Oh, and thanks. Should Oz Perkins make a new Psycho trilogy? I'll leave that up to you two. Since that's Anthony Perkins' son and he's a great director, you think he should do it?
I don't know about trilogy, but I wouldn't mind seeing him. The thing is with that, it's hard because you haven't got, Anthony Perkins. So I don't know how you would go about that. And they've already done the TV series, haven't they, where he's like a younger version of him is played. But I don't know. I'd love to see a new Psycho film if they could do it in some kind of way. That's authentic,
Yeah, definitely.
But it is gonna, without him, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren, from Subjective Perspective Collective, you have a big stream coming up. You have a couple of big ones coming up. Go and talk about those real quick.
So Sunday, we're going to be covering 3 films. Plot of Fear.
I got that 4K. Yeah, I need to check that out.
7 Deaths in the Cat's Eye is another. And last but not least, I love this cover, man. The Killer Must Kill Again. That is so killer in the hour.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that stream up on, or I saw that that Dirk put that up for Sunday and stuff like that, I looked that up. I have Plot of Fear, and I found the other ones that are streaming and stuff like that too. The Killer Must Kill Again, that's on YouTube. Just type it in, you'll find it.
Yeah.
The other one's on Plexwise, so definitely I'm gonna try to watch those when I have the chance, and then I'll catch that stream definitely.
They're all Giallo films, but they're all completely different. I got Region 3 next Friday with Lorne,
13 people.
Dan in the chat, if he's still in the chat, Dirk as well. So we've got some good topics coming up on that. Stay tuned on our channel, though, Subjective Perspective Collective. We've got a very special guest in a couple of weeks. Female, I won't give her away because we'll probably give a big reveal Sunday or the next Sunday after, but she's an artist, and I know she's going to be doing some work, like some artistry images for our channel as well, which is exciting. But she's going to come on at one point. We're going to have a chat with her next week after the stream, and then she's going to come on 2 weeks later to cover some Spanish horror as well, some Spanish Euro cults, so should be good.
Excellent. As for me, it is officially Fulci February, so I did Massacre Time, I think, yesterday. I got that one done. Tomorrow I'll put it up. I just recently watched for the Apocalypse. That's a very interesting Western from the late great Lucio Fulci from 1975.
Yeah.
And then hopefully Slasher Saturday, I will put up Murder Rock for that one. We plan on doing Black Glove Reviews podcast with Darren on what was the 2 Fulci films? Yeah, New York Ripper and Murder Rock. So
New York Ripper, Murder Rock. Yeah.
Pay attention to that one.
I mean, Jay's welcome. I don't know if you can get hold of those films, but you'd be welcome on that as well. You know.
Well, yeah, you might want to send me a message and remind me of those times.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're able to join, and just future stuff ahead on the channel. Just do what I do and just have fun doing it. I'd like to thank both of these dudes again for joining me, specifically Jay. Thank you very much for joining me. Darren, as always. Yeah, as always, Darren, it's always great to have you on here, my slasher bro here in crime. And thank you everybody for popping up in chat. I know there's some other great streamers doing stuff, like John Grande has stuff going on. Check out his channel, Grande's Graveyard. Highly recommend it. Check out Jay's channel. If you haven't yet, checked out Darren and Dirk's channel. They're doing great stuff over there. And like I say,
check out Flash Room Features. Check out Visited by Voices. They're all good guys. You know?
Yeah. Like I say, if you like slashers, if you like Jolly, dude, these guys right here, man. It's always the thing. Of course, yours truly. Anyway, you all have a great evening. Thank you all again for showing up. I really appreciate you guys. Watch, like and comment if you want to on what maybe future content you'd like us to do. And we'll see you all next time. You all have a great evening. Enjoy the upcoming weekend, and happy early Valentine's Day. But yeah, y'all take care, guys.